Hi, everyone, and welcome into Joshing Around Milwaukee. As always, I'm Josh Albrecht, and with me is...
Hey, it's Josh Albrecht.
That's right, Josh Albrecht and Josh Albrecht, and we are here to tell you about all the amazing and wonderful things that happen in our city of Milwaukee, and we are very, very grateful and thankful to have on our guest today, Tia Torhorst from the Harbor District and Bid 51. Tia, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
So, a lot of stuff to talk about today, but right off the bat, why don't you tell us a little bit just about the Harbor District and, you know, what's included all in that and what you guys have going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me again. So the Harbor District is, if you're from Milwaukee, it's south of the 3rd Ward, north of Bayview, and west of Walker's Point. If you are not from Milwaukee, you are going to be probably coming in on the south on Bay Street, on the north on Water Street, and on the west on First Street. And then we claim to the middle of the lake because we do a lot of environmental and water work. But we are a nonprofit and a business improvement district tied together that works on connecting people to place through creating infrastructure. We also do about a lot of environmental and ecological restoration since we're down on the water. And then we also want to create a healthy industrial manufacturing space to continue our Milwaukee legacy.
Awesome. That's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a few iconic Milwaukee things in the.
There are.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of skyline stuff probably shows up in the Harbor District.
We have a large four-sided clock.
Yes.
Second largest in the world is the rumor.
Yes.
I don't think it's a rumor. We're going to state it as fact.
Okay. Well, if it was a fact, it would be the first. Like I would just say it's ours and it's the biggest. But I think it's the second. So Rockwell is there. We also are home recently to Komatsu down on Greenfield, which is a giant investment on the company and the city side. We also have another large corporate headquarters down there, Michael's. And then we have 176 other businesses down there that keep our city humming.
Yeah, I love the Komatsu being down there because you're going down a street and you're just minding your own business, and then wham, giant machinery.
Yeah.
They make some little toys.
It's pretty cool, and it's such
big ones.
It's a really actually be a great place. If you haven't taken your kids, they would love it. Little kids would love seeing the giant machinery and then there's the playground in the back right along the river, and it's a cool spot.
Yeah, there's a giant truck down there, and you can take them to Harborview Plaza. We have an awesome play structure there and a water feature. That's
awesome. Yeah. Always looking for places in the city, new places to try it. Yeah. Take the kids.
Well, for yourself, too.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to have to say it, but thank you. Yeah. Mostly for me. I want to see some different scenery when they run around in circles. You know?
And along with the sort of manufacturing, some of these like iconic Milwaukee things, there's a few iconic Milwaukee restaurants in your neighborhood, too.
We do, especially right now. You can visit a lot of really great patios. On the water, we have Boone and Crockett, Barnacle Buds, Bridgewater, and if you want to stay in the more urban feel, you can check out the New Azal Coffee. We have Casera. There's a lot of really great places to come hang out.
Those places on the water are, in the summer, fall, man, it's so nice. Boone and Crockett's so cool, and it's.
I've spent a lot of time at Barnacle Buds too. Like over there, it's just it's awesome. And same thing, kids play in the sand. It's like cool. We're gonna eat dinner. There's the sand. I can see you. I can see you. Go ahead. Yep, I see.
Yeah, Dad's got it.
Yep. Go ahead. Yep. No, that's
you could hop some boats too, which is great. Like perfect for kayaking, or the Duffy boats are right there by Boone and Crockett.
Yep, you can rent Duffy boats. You can go to Milwaukee Kayak Company, rent kayaks and paddle boards. If you have your own boat, there's plenty of public docks down there that you can cruise up to the restaurants at.
Yeah, and then, man, it's like iconic. Go down to that space. I've done it so many times with friends from outside the area, going to Boone and Crockett, getting on the Duffy boat, driving out, go sort of do the circle there underneath the home bridge, and then go up the river and come back. It's one of my favorite Milwaukee experiences.
Yeah, next time turn right and go south.
I've gone down both ways. Yeah. I mean, you've got the Duffy boat for like 2+ hours. You're going to see the
you're going to have time.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. I love asking the questions to when we're talking to different bids on, dealing with all these different businesses that and your guys' job is to make it as great as it can be. What is one of the businesses that either has had like a newer business that's gone in, or a business that's had a large update, renovation, something that people should check out, either if they haven't been there in a while or haven't been able to be there yet?
Yeah, absolutely. So Azal Coffee, as I mentioned earlier, is part of the new coffee trend, the weekend night coffee scene. Amazing coffee, really good desserts. If you're a cheesecake fan.
Ooh, I am a cheesecake fan.
They are fantastic. And then, we have a couple other new ones. Fiesta Cafe is recently opened in the Lincoln Warehouse, a really great Mexican place. So those are our two newest on the scene.
Nice.
And how much does the bid and your work revolve around helping to recruit new businesses to the area?
Yeah, we try our best. I think part of the challenge with our area specifically is it's industrial and manufacturing recruiting primarily, which is a long runway. So we work on things 5-10 years out. So it's a little bit more challenging than trying to find a retail storefront most of the time.
Yeah, but then when you get those too, like that's a huge celebrating, you take a week to celebrate that, not an afternoon.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So, and then you also said that, it goes, so remind me again with the manufacturing area, like how much of the bid is, like if you had to split it from the retail to manufacturing, like how much is the percentages in there?
I'd say right now we're probably zoned about 70% manufacturing and industrial and 30% for other things.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive because I don't always think I feel that.
Right.
It definitely has, and I feel maybe it's something that's changing over the last few years. It feels more residential in many ways. There's a few apartment buildings down there now, and more being planned, and like it definitely doesn't feel industrial. Definitely because you're in the city, and it doesn't feel like you're out in an industrial park somewhere in the suburbs, right? Like, so it does a really good job, and I know this is very intentional of being a part of the space, but not dominating the space.
Yeah. I mean, we have 2 salvage yards, which, I think we're probably the only district in the city that has that. We have, a lot of tool and die manufacturers. So, 2 10-hour shifts are pretty frequent in the district. So there's a lot of banging into the night. So while we're getting residential, there's, it's got to be people that are cool with that urban living.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still, to your point, Josh, too, I think it's awesome that you can have that split and still have it to where when you're in the Harbor District, you're not feeling like it's just a place that I'm either going to work or driving through. It's still, if you set it up in such a way to where you're able to do both at that split, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. And you also said that you guys do some environmental improvement as well, and I want to talk about that when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We are having a lot of fun with our guest Tia today from the Harbor District. You can have a lot of fun at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee with thousands of the hottest slots, nearly 100 high-energy table games, and a sleek new poker room. The thrills are endless. Take your love of sports to the next level at the region's best sportsbook, featuring an over 2,000-square-foot video wall, nonstop betting, and all the live sports you can handle. All of this inside of a newly remodeled, multi-level casino that's built for the ultimate gaming experience. Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, your win is waiting. So, Tia, you talked about all the different things that the Harbor District does, and you also mentioned the environmental improvement as well because of the water. Tell us a little bit about that, because that is very unique for the situation.
Yeah, so part of our mission is we want to provide access to place, but when you provide access, people don't want to go there if it's icky, right?
Sure, of course.
So you want to have good, clean water. You want to have, a view that you can enjoy that's not kind of all overgrown with invasive species. You want to, if you're there to fish, you want to catch fish that aren't, sick and, have pollutants in them. So, and if you think about our inner harbor, it's a really big bathtub. So it's about 30 feet deep and it's got steel sides. So if you're a fish and you're coming in from Lake Michigan to get to the Kinnickinnick or to the Menominee or the Milwaukee, you have to go through this really big bathtub. And you're a little scared. You're probably hungry. You need a snack. You're wondering what's lurking around you. So we try and think about installing habitat on those really big walls so that they have somewhere to hang out, take a break, feel protected. and really allow a better entry into our rivers. So we spend time doing water eco kind of habitat work. We also are really involved with the area of concern, which is a generational cleanup of our waterways. And then we do things like making sure our river walk has native plantings and has a lot of greenery on it. You know, if you go down to the downtown river walk, sometimes it's just a lot of concrete. We intentionally designed our river walk standards to make sure that people had to include native species plantings, plants in general, so that it felt a little bit more natural.
Yeah, I love that. So it's so interesting, and I love that the bid gets heavily involved in sort of that planning. I love that you're involved in planning for the fish life. Yeah, like that's so intentional, and so makes it such an inviting place. Because if it's inviting for the wildlife, then it's certainly inviting for people to go and experience the locations. I was just looking on your website, and can you tell us a little bit about the Breakwater project and how that's impacting the district?
Yeah, so about a year and a half ago, we got a $500,000 grant from the federal government to reimagine our breakwater that protects, kind of when you go out the mouth under the Hone Bridge, you'll see a little gap, and then for that breakwater that's in front of you all the way down to South Shore Yacht Club, South Shore Beach area. So we, in our original documents, kind of said, you know, this could be a really cool space in our city. And it kind of sat there for a little while, and all of a sudden a grant popped up that we thought it could be our opportunity to take a look at this and think about what could be next. So we're working with an engineering company to kind of imagine what that could look like for habitat instead of just having a big gray wall there. Again, so underneath the water mostly will be kind of a slope that will allow fish to kind of come in, have some more habitat, have some more places to hang out. You know, hopefully, you know, we'll get past some quagga mussel issues and have some other cool things that grow there. It's interesting to learn about this stuff. Once you get into it, they kind of pick one species and they're like, okay, we're going to have perch be the species that we're designing this for. And then everything else around their food chain kind of follows that. So we're designing, this for a certain fish habitat, and then hopefully that will kind of grow out the ecosphere around it.
I think it's definitely, I mean, I know I already said it, but it's so interesting because we've talked to a few of the other bids on the show, and what we talk about is like streetscaping and what's the mural going to be like. And I know you guys do that stuff too, but you have such a unique story to tell of getting to talk about how the waterways are impacting the district, and it's just so fascinating to me to hear how you're doing that and how you're planning for perch, right, or how you're planning for the sturgeon or whatever might be in the lake.
And I just like my brain is I'm like, so what, you could put like a little fish restaurant down there, like like just you're developing business for the fish down there. Oh, right. Hey, should we go to the new bar down there? Maybe I the whole perch clan is like, I think this
so your brain is like SpongeBob SquarePants.
Exactly.
Is what you're basically saying.
Immediately going to like a children's fish movie and saying like, I wonder where the fish are going to get their pizza. Probably down in the new Harbor District area. Yeah, probably.
Everybody needs a new neighborhood to check out.
That's right. But I just I want to commend you and all the volunteers and board members who are doing that, because it really puts a different skill set on you. And those who work in the Harbor District bid, because a typical bid person is not probably well versed in environmental studies. So you've hired specifically for that.
Yeah, we have an environmental director who spends a lot of his time thinking about how to not only do ecological and habitat restoration, but just how to make the district better in general from the green perspective. So on First Street, if you guys ever go to the Target down on Chase, if you're headed down on First, you'll kind of hit a segment of street that's 4 lanes. And you're like, why is there a little miniature highway in our city? So we also wondered that. So we went to the city and we were like, hey, can we take this down to maybe 2 lanes? Because it doesn't seem to get a lot of traffic. And put in a lane of bike and ped infrastructure and then a bioswale lane so that all that stuff that's running off the road before it hits the KK is cleaner. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. So it's just kind of using the infrastructure that we have in our community and thinking about how runoff happens. And, we want to make sure everything's a little bit cleaner than we left it.
Yeah, that stormwater is a huge thing. And obviously, recent weather events in the Milwaukee area have brought that top of mind for a lot of people. So love that pre-planning and that planning of how to impact the entire cycle. I would love it. Like, I mean, now I'm like, man, wouldn't it be amazing? I'm sure you've thought this too. If every one of our bids in the Milwaukee area could have an environmental impact person on staff, looking at how are the trees affecting the boulevards and how is the stormwater affecting our district and all the different things that go into it. And we've had Bird City on here. It's like it impacts the birds too and all the other species that go through the city. And so I really applaud what environmental steps you've taken in the district.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it's a huge part, and obviously it's unique, as you mentioned, Josh, to the bid, and it's great to just have. It's another example of a way that all of us can enjoy that specific area of the city to its fullest. And you guys have a Harbor Fest coming up, which we're going to talk about, which is another great way for people to enjoy the Harbor District, and we will give you details on that when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We are having a blast with Tia from the Harbor District, who is telling us about everything they have going on there. And the biggest thing coming up, Harbor Fest.
Yeah.
Tell us about Harbor Fest.
It's a celebration of all things port love. So whether you want to check out the little tugboat that lives in the inner harbor that the port has, or if you want to take a free boat ride around the inner harbor, it's probably the only time of the year where you can get on a boat for free. So come down. We try and get about 1,000 people out on the water every Harbor Fest. We also have great things for kids. We have Rockwell sponsors a STEAM area, so they bring down their robots that they work on with their Lego League. There's a ton of arts and crafts that is STEAM related. You can do things like print a fish, all sorts of fun stuff. There's also a bounce house. You can burn off your kids' energy.
Or your energy.
Yeah,
or your
exactly.
energy.
Right.
You can get your face painted. I'm sure you want to have, like the Brewers logo on your cheek right now feels right.
Yeah.
And then also you can, in partnership, we have Sturgeon Fest, which you can release a baby sturgeon right there into Lake Michigan. They've been growing at River Edge Nature Center all summer, and it's now time for them to go be free and make their life in Lake Michigan. And then last but not least, you can get a tour of UWM School of Freshwater Sciences. So you can kind of see behind the curtain there and look into the research on all the cool stuff that they're doing to make our water and fish better.
Very cool. And so it's September 28th from 11 to 3.
Correct.
And it's free.
It's
free
totally free. Yep. You can check out our website for more details or our social media as we roll stuff out. There's information on parking. There's food vendors there, and you can come down, have lunch, spend a few hours, check out. We have lots of great entertainers to keep your eyes visually happy and your ears listening to great things. And yeah, we'll be spreading the news far and wide on our website and in our socials soon.
Very, very cool. And will people be able to learn more about the underwater fish restaurant at Harbor Fest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We can.
Can't wait. And we go
That's
home and be like, hey, kiddo.
Guess what?
We're going to go. You're going to get to play with some robotics and learn about fish restaurant.
Yeah, I think maybe name the sturgeon too. Do people name their sturgeon?
Yeah, you can name your sturgeon. Yep. And then they put a little, it's called a pit tag into it so that, in 20 years when it comes back to breed, and it goes past the little barrier in the river, they'll send you an email and say, Bobby just went past the tag and he's back. I
was thinking Josh.
Yeah.
There you
go.
What do you think?
Yeah, Josh. It has to be Josh Albrecht.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think that's a good name. I think you should go with that. Well, that's very cool. And website again, if people want to keep up to date.
Yeah, absolutely. www.harbordistrict.org.
Very awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tia, for joining us, telling us about all the amazing things that are happening in the Harbor District and just how it is thriving. And we hope that everyone comes out to Harbor Fest again on September 28th.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. For more information on Joshing Around, please go to visitmilwaukee.org. All right, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to Joshing Around Milwaukee. If you're seeing this portion of today's show, it's because you're watching or listening on one of Visit Milwaukee's social media platforms, and we really do appreciate that. We are having a lot of fun with Tia from the Harbor District. And Tia, thanks again so much for being here. This is the time when Josh asks his question. Josh, take it away.
All right, so we like to say that Milwaukee has a lot of cool, fun things going right now. We call it Fresh City Vibes for our fresh water that you are very familiar with in the Harbor District.
Yeah.
So what's giving you Fresh City Vibes right now?
Paddleboard yoga.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
What a great answer. Tell me more.
Yeah. So Milwaukee Kayak Company this summer launched paddleboard yoga. So they've been running it at 8 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. You can check out their calendar to catch the next one, but it's super fun, and it's not something that's really been done in Milwaukee before.
Yeah. Have you tried it?
I have.
And how is it as hard as I'm imagining it
Yeah.
is?
Well, we should mention we've what was that? A couple seasons ago.
We kayak.
We kayaked, but the kayaking
far from
experience
paddleboard yoga.
was difficult enough for some of us to like get in safely, be okay.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going and doing paddleboard yoga. No, that would be.
Yeah. You could just stand there. Or you could just like do your, serenity now and just lay on the board and find your zen.
Take a nap.
So it's we're not like extreme, like
Well,
pro level.
you should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try.
If I went and I witnessed it, would there be someone there that's like doing a, like a handstand, whatever that pose is on the paddleboard?
It could probably be
That's
arranged.
skilled.
I'm sure.
I feel like I've seen.
I'm not going
look,
to do that.
I
There's
feel like
going to be
I've
someone
seen
who's
that.
skilled enough
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
show out.
The
Yeah, there's always
instructor
someone who
definitely
knows
has got this
what they're doing.
Incredible.
And certainly much more core strength than I have to be able to
Not in a million
accomplish.
years. Nah, I don't care how much time you gave me. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great answer as well. I love that. And I love that you joined us today. And I love everything that's happening with the Harbor District. And again, looking forward to Harbor Fest at the end of the month. Thank you so much, Tia.
Yeah, thank you. I look forward to seeing you on the 28th.
Yeah, it'll be great. And thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. If you missed a previous episode, or maybe you want to see us doing the kayaking, as I mentioned, you can see that it was a couple seasons ago. We've been doing this for a few of them at visitmilwaukee.org. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.